Welcome to Chai with Manjula. Despite its tremendous economic growth and progress in the world of technology, India is home to 100 million children who risk being left behind, unable to read or write, and also to 1/3 of the world's undernourished children. 55% of the children there do not receive the immunizations required to protect them from deadly illnesses. And the single most effective tool to combat all of these daunting challenges is education. In 1991, a few visionaries in New Jersey decided to start an organization that would provide a platform for individuals who want to improve the lives of millions of underprivileged children in India. Collectively, the dreams and actions of this group have resulted in a positive difference in the lives of 150,000 children. The organization is Vibha, and our guest is Vikram Chandran, President of the Bay Area chapter. Vikram, welcome to Chai with Manjula.
Thank you.
How long have you been in the Bay Area and what kind of work do you do?
I've been in the Bay for about 6 years now. Mm-hmm. I work for a semiconductor company and I work in the sales and marketing group.
Which company is that?
The company is called Maxim Integrated Products.
Okay.
They're in Silicon Valley and I've been working with them for the last 6 years now.
Okay, and how long have you been with Vibha?
I've been with Vibha for about 6 years, close to 6 years, since 2004.
Okay. How did Vibha start and what is its mission?
Vibha initially started as an offshoot of CRY. We were CRY North America way back in the early 90s.
I see.
And then we formed our own organization because we had a different vision on how to help children in India. Mm-hmm. We've been active since 1991. And we have about 800 volunteers so far across North America.
Okay.
Our mission is to basically enable and help children in India to have access to their right to education, to healthcare, and to opportunity.
I see.
And we do whatever we can to empower people in North America to help those children back in India. That's our goal.
I see. Now give us a sense of how enormous is this problem of hunger and illiteracy in India?
It's incredible. I mean, the numbers are staggering, and the numbers are enough to make anybody despair of progress, but we're making some progress. To give you some idea, about 18 million children in India are currently homeless and on the streets.
I see.
22 million children are contracted and work as child laborers every day in India. Mm-hmm. You know, 50% of the Indian children don't have access to proper immunization against disease.
Right.
And between 30 to 50% of children in India are chronically malnutrition. Just to give you an idea of how bad the problem really is, Sub-Saharan Africa, which everybody assumes is the most poverty-stricken place on the planet, has 26% of the children chronically undernutritioned or malnutritioned.
I see.
That fraction is beaten by the malnutrition percentage in India. So the problem is huge. And, we need to work at it every day to reduce that by a fraction. That's what we're trying to do in our own little way in the U.S.
Okay. So I read that you have affected at least 150,000 lives. How are you going about it? What kind of work are you doing? Where are these projects that you are supporting? Tell us all about it.
So we try to make a positive difference in children's lives in two ways. One is all these efforts need money, so we need to raise funds. Two, we need to identify which effort can directly improve the condition of children starting from the next moment. We don't want any delayed impact. We want impact to happen right away, and we want it to impact the child's life in a 360-degree fashion. Not just education, not just shelter, but all-round development. So what we do is we raise funds in North America through a variety of sources, and we identify the projects in India that will create the maximum impact in a child's life, and we support those projects.
I see.
So non-governmental organizations in India come to us for help because they are directly working with children. We identify the most effective, the most targeted projects, and we support them on a yearly basis from North America.
Okay.
We evaluate the support every year to make sure the money gets spent as well as it can be.
I see. So give us some examples of the projects that you have going there.
We have a variety of projects. I'd like to point out at the start of the program that Vibha is non-political, non-religious, and we don't discriminate on the basis of region or ethnicity.
I see.
So we pick projects all over India. To give you a few samples, we have a project called Doorstep in Pune, where we target and provide education to the children of bonded laborers and contract laborers who work on construction sites. So because these children move from site to site with their parents, the NGO we work with actually has a bus that travels from site to site, educating the children on the construction site itself.
Oh.
So if
interesting.
if the mountain doesn't come to Muhammad must go to the
Right,
mountain,
right,
and that's what
right,
we're
right.
trying to do. Another project is Alamb in Delhi, where we basically provide vocational training for girl children in the Delhi slums, so they can grow up to become teachers or seamstresses, or they can open beauty salons. But we want to give them the ability to have a profession for themselves and earn money in a dignified fashion.
Right,
So our projects are across the spectrum. They are targeted towards pre-primary education, primary education, health. We also rescue children from abusive environments like children of sex workers, take them off the
see.
streets, educate them, give them a stable environment, and try to give them the tools they need to succeed.
I see.
So we have projects in Bombay, in Chennai, in Karnataka, West Bengal, Sundarbans, Delhi, Rajasthan, Pune.
I see.
It's all over the place. We have specific programs that are targeted
I see.
towards rehabilitating these children and enabling them. It's like educating special needs children.
I see.
So we have NGOs on the ground that actually spend time trying to work with these kids and give them a chance of an education and helping them catch up with normal children. And we do our best in that department to support them.
And how important is vocational training in your projects?
Again, I don't have an exact fraction, but it's clearly a very important part. Like I said before, it's not enough to just educate the child. We've got to give the
Right.
child the chance to be able to make a living. So it depends on the age of the child and depends on the specific project that we have. But the Alam project is a very good example of
Right.
providing vocational training to girls who are very, very eager to take on a profession and support their family with dignity.
Right,
And we do our best to identify such projects and support them.
Okay. And I believe you have some projects in the U.S. also, even though your main focus area is
Yes,
India.
yes.
Can you tell us about the
We
projects
do.
that you have here?
Our logic basically is that we raise money from North America, so it's only fair to give back to the community.
Good.
We've supported again. We look at children. That's our primary focus, and here the projects are more narrowly chosen in the field of education. To give you an example, we provided school supplies for a school that was hit by Hurricane Katrina in Louisiana a couple of years back. We supported foster family education programs in San Jose.
I see.
We in the Bay Area chapter for Vibha has supported a charity called My New Red Shoes
I
for the
see.
last couple of years. This charity provides school supplies and shoes and clothes for children who go for their first day of school.
And which area of the Bay Area?
That
are
is
they?
it's across all homeless shelters in the South and the
Oh,
East Bay
okay.
and up to Palo Alto.
I
So
see.
the idea is when kids go to school for the first time, new clothes help them get some self-esteem, and
Right.
they're able to tackle the challenges of school, with their head held high. It's a very popular program. It's come on Good Morning America, and we
Oh.
just figured that their aims tied in so closely with ours that we decided to support them.
I see.
So that's an example of the stuff that we do in North America.
And how many projects in North America do you have?
We have about, I think, 10 to 12 active projects across Minnesota, the Bay Area, Atlanta, and I think Austin, if I'm not mistaken.
You plan on adding some more? Or?
It depends on funding. We can only support projects to the extent to which we raise money. And currently, our focus is, of course, primarily India.
Right.
If we're able to grow funds next year, we'll be very happy to support projects next year. But we've got to be careful to not overpromise and underdeliver. So we're very
Right.
careful at we track the amount of money we raise, and then we support the projects based on that.
I see. How many people are involved with Vibha?
We have about
And
800.
how many chapters do you have?
We have about 15 chapters. We call them action centers
I see.
because it denotes a certain action that we're doing in a particular area of North America. We have about 15 action centers spread across the major cities. The biggest action centers are in Atlanta, in the Bay Area. We have very active action centers in Austin, in the Twin Cities, Milwaukee, Sacramento, Los Angeles, Chicago, Austin, Dallas, Houston. It's all over the place.
It started in New Jersey.
Yes,
so
it did.
Are you still active in New Jersey?
Unfortunately, not as active as we'd like to be, but we've got action centers in New York and New Jersey, and we're hoping that they'll get some traction going forward.
And who were the visionaries who started this in New Jersey in 91?
I'll have to. I'm a new volunteer, so my memory doesn't go that far back. But some of the board members like Ron Victor and Vijay Vemulapalli and Rajesh Haridas and Rajaratnam Gopichettipalem, they've been around for 9, 10, 12 plus years, and they helped put Vibha together and build it to where it is right now. And they're still around with us. In fact. Ron Victor and Vijay are board members and secretary. Rajesh Haridas is our chief executive operating officer. He, in fact, is a member of the Bay Area Action Center. So we have quite a few old volunteers who've stayed back and given us the benefit of their experience. And we get new volunteers all the time.
And what kind of a team do you have in India?
In India, it used to be primarily a team to help monitor our projects. So we had a couple of full-time paid employees who would go and review the projects and make sure the money is getting spent correctly. But now we've got a lot of our volunteers have gone back to India to work or for other reasons, and they've helped start action centers back in India.
I see.
So the action centers there serve to increase awareness, they serve to track the projects, they serve to increase volunteer strength in India itself, and do fundraising on a small basis. The bulk of the fundraising happens from North America though. They're more focused on the projects and how to support them. So we have action centers in Bangalore, in Pune, Chennai, Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad. We've got about 6 action centers in India right now.
How about your team over here? How many people are actively involved and how many are volunteering?
We have about, we actually have a core strength of about 150 active volunteers.
That is commendable.
It's a very large number, and we're very happy because it's been increasing over the last couple of years. In terms of core active volunteers who volunteer on a daily basis with us, we have about 50 people.
I see.
And these 50 people together are responsible for our calendar of events in the Bay Area, responsible for fundraising, for monitoring projects, and for basically just maintaining the awareness of Vibha in the donor community.
I see.
So a very good bunch of guys, and I'm very proud to be a member of them.
Great, and there's a lot more we need to find out about Vibha. But
absolutely.
Before that, let's watch the video clip that you have brought for us.
Yes.
विभा ने हमें सपोर्ट करा, तो विभा के सपोर्ट से हमारी जगह जगह क्लासेस चलने लगे, हमारे बच्चे उनके वजह से जागरूकता हो गए।
बच्चे भटकते थे, खेलते थे, लावारिसों की तरह रहते थे, उनके ऊपर इन्होंने बहुत अच्छा काम किया। उनको घर से बुला करके बैठाना, पढ़ाना, साफ सफाई के बारे में उनको शिक्षा देना।
बच्चे सब कितने बिगड़े हुए थे, झुग्गी झोपड़ी के, कितने संभल गए, 4 साल में कितनी रौनक आ गई।
ये छोटे छोटे जो ये बच्चे हैं स्कूल नहीं जाते थे, ये बड़ी लड़कियां स्कूल नहीं जाती थी, उनको पता ही नहीं है क्या पढ़ाई लिखाई है, ये पढ़ने लगी।
मैडम ये भी ABCD भी पढ़ाती है और छोटे से नाम भी पढ़ाती है। मैं आलम में हिंदी, इंग्लिश, मैथ पढ़ती हूँ।
छोटी लड़कियां अपने भाई बहनों को संभालती हैं तो वो स्कूल नहीं जा पाती, इसलिए वो लड़कियां यहाँ पे आती हैं।
बच्चे को शिक्षा की मुख्यधारा में बने रहने के लिए हम लोगों ने ये रेमेडियल क्लास, रेमेडियल एजुकेशन क्लास शुरू किया, जो कि सरकारी स्कूल में जो बच्चे लड़कियां जाती हैं उनके लिए फॉलो अप प्रोग्राम है।
से बाहर में पढ़ाते हैं, बहुत ज्यादा फीस लगती है। अब यहाँ और हर एक चीज की सुविधा हो गया लक्ष्मी के लिए।
आलम में आने लगी हूँ तो मेरे सवाल ठीक होने लगे। पढ़ने में से एक सहयोगी मैडम भी मुझे कहते हैं अच्छे पढ़ते थे।
आलम में पढ़ने से बहुत अच्छा लगा, क्योंकि और के ट्यूशन में पढ़ने से उतने वो नहीं होते, क्योंकि वो लोग सिर्फ पढ़ाई करते हैं। नाटक भी होता है, खेल भी होता है, और फिर अपना मनोरंजन भी रहता है और पढ़ाई भी जाती है।
हम ये नाटक इसलिए कर रहे हैं कि जिनसे उनको भी पता चले कि पढ़ने से क्या होता है, और वो अपने बच्चों को काम पे लगाने के बजाय पढ़ाएं।
बाल क्लब में होता है कि अगर किसी की समस्या है तो हम उसे हल करते हैं।
लड़कियों को पढ़ने के लिए स्कूल नहीं भेजते हैं तो हम उनके घर पे जाते हैं, सारे बाल क्लब के मेंबर, और उनके पेरेंट्स को समझाते कि आप लड़कियों को पढ़ने के लिए भेजें, लड़कियां भी कुछ कर सकती हैं बड़ी होकर।
लड़कियों की यदि हम एम्पावरमेंट की बात करते हैं तो उनके लिए पढ़ाई के अलावा कुछ हुनर भी होना चाहिए, स्किल ट्रेनिंग।
मेरे विचार से विभा तो बहुत अच्छा काम कर रही है, क्योंकि इन लड़कियों के लिए तो कोई भी स्कूल कहीं कोई फैसिलिटी नहीं चलती।
विभा जी ने जो ये प्रोजेक्ट दिए बहुत ही अच्छा है। हम कहते हैं कि वो आगे इसी तरह हमें काम देती रहे, जिससे बच्चों को कुछ फायदा हो।
हम जैसी लड़कियां आगे जाके कुछ नहीं कर सकती, ना ही हमारे मॉम डैड कुछ करवा सकते हैं मम्मी पापा। वो चाहते हैं सिर्फ सिलाई करके शादी करवा दें और हम चले जाएंगे, लेकिन हम ये नहीं चाहते, हम कुछ करना चाहते हैं।
मैं बड़े होकर सिस्टर बनना चाहती हूँ, सबका इलाज करूँगी।
सिलाई सीखकर बस अपने पैरों पे खड़ी होना चाहती हूँ।
मैं चाहती हूँ कि मैं खुद अपना कमाऊँ और अपने हाथ से पैसे खर्च करूँ।
मैं टीचर बनकर बच्चों को पढ़ाऊंगी।
So this was a project in Delhi, Alam.
Yes.
All right, and yeah, I can see the girls learning skills there, embroidery and sewing, which is great because you can see a strong desire with them.
Absolutely.
Of being independent, financially independent.
This is one of the videos that never fails to get interest in Vibha when people see it.
Right, right. And something like this is what keeps you going when you see results like that.
Every day. We support a project called Sikshana that actually serves to improve the efficiency of government schools in remote areas in India.
I see.
One such school, we found that the girls were doing very well in class, but were consistently failing their exams. And the teachers, after some examination, found out that they were failing their exams because they didn't know how to write enough in the time given to them.
I see.
So what the Sikshana, which is the NGO that we support, did was they thought about this and they said, okay, let's just distribute free reams of paper to all the children. And the only condition is that the children get fresh paper if they're filled up the paper given to them. So basically, they were giving them an encouragement and incentive to read and write. And every time the child filled up 5 pages of paper, the teacher would give them 5 free pages more.
That's very innovative.
It is very innovative,
Right.
and within the space of I think 4 to 6 months, the graduation rates jumped up from 40% to 80%. Children who were scoring 2 on 10, 3 on 10 were getting 6 on 10, 7 on 10. It's just an example of how a very simple idea, which is the cost of a block of paper,
Right.
can make the difference in so many people's lives. And we're looking to make change at that incremental level at the local community. We don't want to be able to invest in large schemes. We want to be able to do something small that helps the government money go even further and allow children to be able to be impacted and make a change at the primary school level itself. And that's just an example of a very powerful story of how we can bring change about at the grassroots.
Right.
And that's what we try to do every day when we pick projects in India. What we do is we basically look out for non-governmental organizations
Okay.
that that operate with the same mission as we do, and we provide them support in terms of funding.
Okay.
So this NGO was running a school in Delhi for the girls there, and we thought it's a very worthwhile cause, and we supported them.
I see.
So since most of us are in North America and we raise money here, we can't directly go and monitor projects in India.
Yeah, so tell us about your monitoring process over there.
It's actually a very effective process. What we do is we have a couple of full-time employees who visit these projects on a regular basis to make sure that they're using the money correctly.
I see.
And we fund projects in 1-year increments.
Okay.
So we fund you for a year. We have metrics to determine if you're successful. We come back at the end of the year to evaluate the effectiveness of the project, and we decide to extend it for 1 more year or drop it.
Okay.
And we do that with, the projects submit half-yearly reports back to us, and we have a fairly good system of monitoring that. So whenever somebody goes back to India for a vacation to go back home, we tell them, take a few days out, go to a project near your hometown, visit them, and give us feedback about how well the project is running. So we do the monitoring is formal and informal. It happens all the time.
And what is the vision for Vibha? Where do you see it going?
Well, I mean, all of us would like to remove child poverty in our lifetime, but it's a very, very big target. Like we said earlier, we don't have a numerical target, but our aim is to, make this change happen one step at a time. Gandhiji said that, you should be the change you want to see in the world.
Right.
And, all of us know that we're very, very fortunate in the US with, the education of our parents and with the kind of opportunities we had. We want to give back, and we want to do it, one step at a time for children all over India. So the aim is to, like I said, to give children a chance to develop all round, and we just we chip away at that one drop at a time, one brick at a time to make a difference.
Wonderful. You have affected 150,000 lives, as I mentioned earlier. How do you raise funds, and how much have you raised? How do you disperse it? And what kind of an overhead do you have? Can you get into that with us?
Speaking of overhead, the one point I want to make to you, I think, and that's a very important point, is that Vibha is a volunteer-led organization. So we don't have any office space, we don't have any infrastructure, we just operate out of our own homes. And so the idea is to make the fundraising as efficient as possible. So if we raise $1, we send close to 87 to 90 cents of that dollar back home to India.
That's great.
And we do that because the only expense we have is our fundraising expenses, nothing else. Everybody volunteers their time, and the idea is to make it as efficient an organization as possible. How do we raise the funds? We do it through a series of events all over North America and through programs. So we have a flagship 5K, 10K walk and run that we have in over 7 to 10 action centers worldwide. That raises money through people who want to run for charity. We organize dandiyas. We had a dandiya recently in the Bay Area during Navratri.
I see.
We have cricket tournaments. We've got bowlathons. We have musical concerts. And also we have a system where we reach out to patrons who wish to donate money, and we encourage them to make monthly donations or yearly donations for charity, and the money gets channeled back to India. So we raise funds in a variety of sources.
Yeah, and I read about some of your own programs to raise funds, volunteer matching, and
absolutely.
Help Them Grow. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Help Them Grow is basically an automated program where people who want to make a donation to charity and who don't like to make it at one time at the end of the year because it's a large amount, we encourage them to donate $20 a month. And the money goes straight from their bank account to our account. The idea is that they've given their bit to charity, and we don't have to spend money to raise money. It comes to us automatically.
Yeah, that's
we
a
also
good
have
model.
a volunteer matching program where volunteers at Intel and Cisco get their volunteer time compensated by the company, and the company donates some money to charity. So different ways to raise money, and all very, very effective, and hopefully it'll grow in the future.
Okay, it sounds great. And any event coming up now? I heard that there was something coming up soon.
Yeah, we've actually, our event calendar is almost over. We had the 5K, 10K Dream Mile. We've had our Dandiya events, very, very successful events. We have 2 events we're partnering with local partners. One is called Pampas, that does a Bharatanatyam performance in the Bay. And they have a concert coming up on October 24th in Palo Alto.
Okay.
We also have a dance group called Project Pulse, with whom we're
Right.
partnering to do a dance event called Tathastu, kind of a fusion Asian modern hip hop dance event. And we encourage people to come and see that. It's for a good cause. It's good entertainment, and you know that your money is going to go to help some children back in India.
So you said that the Bay Area chapter is very active. How much money have you been raising here in the Bay Area and overall?
We try to raise and disperse about $600,000 a year overall North America.
That's commendable.
It's a large number. We'd like it to be more, but it's
in
pretty,
this economy,
pretty high.
it's very good.
It's very high. Bay Area raises close to about $110,000 to $115,000 of that amount.
I see.
So close to 25%. And we're keeping fingers crossed, but we want to grow that number next year because we think that California is the largest immigrant Indian community, and there are a lot of people who want to reach out and help, but they just don't know how.
Right.
And we encourage them to visit our website at vibha.org and come to our meetings, and we'll tell them how to best volunteer their time and their effort and their money to help children back in India.
Just so describe to us how many different ways can our viewers help you if they want to get involved.
They can come to the website. And
Okay,
our website has all the information about how you want to donate your time or your money. We have meetings held every Wednesday, and the address is available on the website too.
Okay.
We encourage them to come to a couple of our meetings and spend some time, volunteer with us in some of our events. We have a very strong, very passionate community of volunteers, and we guarantee that if anybody comes and spends meets us 2-3 times, they will stick around and volunteer with us in the future.
Okay.
So come to the website. Come to our meetings, come to our events, and we'll get you involved if you want to be involved.
Okay, great. And anything else you would like to add?
I want to thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
We try to get the word out to the community every time, and every such channel, whether it's the media or the television, helps us get the word out. It's a good cause, and I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Vikram, for coming by and telling us about the wonderful work that Vibha is
You're
doing.
very welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.
And all the best with your endeavors.
Thank you, ma'am.
And that's all we have for you today. Our guest was Vikram Chandran, president of Vibha in the Bay Area. Vibha enables and empowers us to make a difference in the lives of underprivileged children by giving them education. Their primary focus is India. However, they do have a few projects here in the US as well. For more information, you may go to vibha.org. And you may watch this show again at chaivithmanjula.org. Thank you all for joining us. I'll be back with another inspiring story about giving and people making a difference. For Chai with Manjula, I'm Manjula Gupta. See you next time.